In this video, we are going to provide an overview of the Montessori Upper Elementary CKLA guide and discuss the reading comprehension strand. As you know, teaching the CKLA curriculum as it is written simply isn't possible in a multi-age classroom. Therefore, the goal of this work is to take apart the strands of the CKLA curriculum so that you may weave them back together in a way that makes sense for your context. How teachers choose to weave the strands back together will look different in every school. There are three major strands of instruction in CKLA. The first strand is reading comprehension, which includes building background knowledge, teaching comprehension skills, vocabulary development, and writing in response to text. Next is writing, which includes writing longer pieces in the three major genres included in the Common Core standards: informational, opinion, and narrative. The final strand is grammar and language. We will discuss reading comprehension in just a moment. Please watch the separate videos for writing and grammar. Let's begin by orienting to the Montessori Upper Elementary CKLA guide document. You will see that there are multiple tabs across the bottom. The first tab is an overview of how the reading units for each grade level could be rearranged to align with three of Montessori's great lessons. However, some schools opt to teach the units in the order found in CKLA rather than rearranging them. You can use the arrows in the bottom right corner of the spreadsheet to scroll through the tabs, or you can click on the three lines in the bottom left corner to see a list of tabs and select the one you want. The second tab is labeled Writing and includes the key writing lessons from 4th and 5th grade CKLA, organized by genre of writing and phase of the writing process. Please watch the writing video to learn more about using this tab. Then, you will see a tab for each of the 4th and 5th grade reading units. Let's begin by discussing reading comprehension. As mentioned at the beginning of the video, the goals for reading comprehension in CKLA are to build background knowledge, practice comprehension skills, develop vocabulary, and practice writing in response to reading. All of the elements of reading comprehension can be found in the Reading Unit tabs. There is one tab for each unit. At the top of each page is the title of the unit, with a link to the Amplify platform. Under the unit title is a list of the key comprehension skills for the unit, both those that are assessed and not assessed. Sometimes skills are emphasized in a unit, but are not assessed until a later unit. These key skills should be practiced throughout the unit. Next is a list of all of the reading comprehension lessons in this unit. Each lesson includes the title of the lesson along with the page numbers in the teacher's guide. To the right are the learning objectives for the lesson, which are copied from CKLA. The related chapter in the student text is listed to the right of the objectives. Some lessons include a focus vocabulary word, which CKLA calls word work. In the next column, there is a list of aligned activity book pages with links. In the last column, there is a list of any related common Montessori lessons. It is important to note that only the reading comprehension lessons are included in the reading unit tabs, so you may notice that some lessons are skipped. This is because they do not include any reading comprehension activities. Also, the page numbers listed indicate the portion of each lesson that addresses reading comprehension. Writing and grammar are included elsewhere in the guide. Lessons and activity book pages that are highlighted in green are most closely related to the focus skills of the unit. This information is provided to help you determine which lessons and activity pages to prioritize. The activity book pages provide students an opportunity to practice comprehension skills and to write in response to what they have read. We encourage teachers to use their professional discretion when deciding which activity book pages to assign to students. As we mentioned, one of the goals of CKLA is to build students' background knowledge. Children have much stronger reading comprehension if they have some background knowledge of the topic. To support students' background knowledge and create stronger alignment with Montessori, some schools rearrange the order of the units to more closely match Montessori's great lessons, as outlined here. However, there are no CKLA texts that align to the coming of life or the story of numbers. The other option for alignment is to teach Montessori lessons alongside the text with similar content. This does not necessarily require rearranging the units to align with the great lessons. Aligned Montessori lessons are noted next to each lesson in the reading unit tabs. The CKLA assessments include reading comprehension, writing, grammar, and morphology portions. We recommend administering the reading comprehension portions separately from the other content. For the most part, the reading passages on the CKLA assessments are connected to the unit topic, but the questions only reference the passages on the assessment. They usually do not reference any of the text from the unit. For each unit, we have provided notes about the assessment, such as whether or not the assessment references particular text from the unit or whether or not a writing prompt is included. We encourage you to look at the assessment before beginning a unit to familiarize yourself with the types of questions that are asked. This will support you in your planning. We've heard from many schools that their greatest challenge with CKLA is fitting it all in. We've provided a couple of examples of schedules that we've seen work well in upper elementary classrooms. One system that works for many teachers is to focus on literacy 2 days per week. Children continue to work on material from across the curriculum, but the teacher delivers literacy lessons on certain days of the week. On these days, the teacher would meet with each grade level group for 30 to 45 minutes and also have time for individualized lessons within the 3-hour work cycle. The students are responsible for completing the assigned follow-up work before the next meeting. Another system that we've seen work well is to have a designated reading time, about 1 hour per day, outside of the work cycle. In this format, when children are not meeting with the teacher, they only work on follow-up work for reading. Individual or small group grammar and writing lessons take place during the work cycle. Of course, there are many other scheduling options. These are simply a couple of possibilities. Please be sure to also watch the writing and grammar and language videos. We are always happy to answer questions as they come up. Please reach out to us at info@montessori-collective.org.